Hello, it's nice to see such a good turnout. As you know, I am Ernest Shackleton. If not, then I really wonder why you're here. A question I often get is how we survived, how we were able to handle the ordeals. I've always found the simplest answer to that is not easily. It was a very trying time, and there was many a time that I feared we would not survive. As I look back upon the event, I find it a little ironic that our ship, the one who sank, was named Endurance. Not because she failed to endure, but because once we were about her is when our endurance showed through the most. It was, to me, just a little strange that none of us figured out the dramatic sense of all of it as it was happening. I am glad we didn't, though. If we had lost our ability to endure as we sunk, we would have been as good as dead then. There would have been no way we would have survived the further ordeal. Sinking was only the first of many trials, and no matter how terrible it seemed at the time, it would show not to be the worst. The journey across the floes was fairly rocking on our bodies and our souls. We didn't know when, how, or even if we were going to be able to get to a destination, and sometimes we didn't even have one. I don't know if there is a lesser or a greater man. If there is, there is certainly one greater than me. I don't know if even he would have been able to stand the same as I and my crew. If I hadn't had my crew to help, to save, I doubt that I would have made it half as far as I did. Had I been faced with all those adversaries alone, I do not hesitate to bet that I would not have survived. I didn't need to, but on the expedition lives were on the line, under my responsibility, and I had to try. That was the greatest adversity to me. I don't know, though I know I can't have had the worst, though. The men who were left on the island, they had so much worse, I'm sure. Left marooned with no way of knowing what had become of us and what their future was, not to mention the other challenges they faced, like Blackborough, who lost his foot and still didn't lose heart. He became the first man to set foot in Elephant Isle, but at the time, what did that achievement seem to count? How much would it have meant if we had not made it back? I couldn't say how they, or even I, managed to survive. What kept us so sure that there was still hope left for us no matter what hardship we faced? We're faced with the question that to this day evades even me. Was it human nature and instinct or a conscious effort? The one thing I can say that it proved for us is that when faced with adversity, if you want a chance, you must at least try to endure whatever it is that brings it forth in you. You have to endure to do anything. Survive, to make it long enough to fight. You must endure, and endurance can make all the difference.